Hi, welcome back to Phone a Friend News with the Ambassadors of Gaming. I'm Ambassador Chris, and I have a very red eye from itching it very much.
He's having issues.
You haven't introduced yourself, Mikkel.
Oh, yeah, I'm Ambassador Michael. Hello. It's nice to meet you.
I still have an itchy eye. But anyway, this is video 2 of our E3 coverage. This one we're going to be talking about Microsoft.
Oh boy.
So, yeah. And also, if you are a House of Cards watcher, you can respect the shirt that I'm wearing. Feel free to leave a like, comment,
All the comments.
all the
So,
comments. I have an itch on my
Microsoft
back.
came out. Well, I have this split up into three things: hardware, software, and games. I'm going to talk about hardware first because that's the big shit.
I got
So,
plenty of stuff to say about hardware.
so the first thing they did when they opened the fucking conference was to start with the Xbox One S, the slim Xbox One. It is 40% smaller than the current one. It comes in white as the standard, I believe. There's new tweaks to the controller. It has better blue. It has Bluetooth in it now instead of whatever wireless connection it has. Um, I forget what else they did. They increased the range, so you can sit farther away from the Xbox now, and it'll register it. And it's coming out in August of 2016, so pretty soon.
All right. Well, first, uh, the Xbox One isn't selling like the 360 did. Like people were always buying a 360 because it was the go-to console, and it was really cheap at the time.
Oh yeah.
Um, but I'm pretty sure that the majority of people that have an Xbox One don't want to buy another one. And also, I'm pretty sure if people wanted another Xbox One, they would have already bought it by now.
Yeah. Well,
So
this is. I think the fact that it's 300 is to make it. Here's this super fucking cheap one you can buy. It's 300. It's basically the exact same thing. It has HDR support or whatever, and it can support 4K video, but not 4K games. So, I mean, it's a little bit upgraded. It's a little bit better, just by the tiniest bit. And it's $300 to start out with. I'm assuming a 500 gigabyte one, which isn't bad. It looks
you can
cool.
get this thing up to 2 terabytes if I remember correctly.
Yes. They didn't
That's
say the
impressive.
price range. They said starting at $399. So, it was
But
very
this isn't the one
Apple.
you really want to hear about.
No, you want to hear about that big boy Scorpio. That's what you want. The Giganto.
Is the answer to the rumors you've been hearing about them coming out with this super powerful gaming console.
It's
Um,
true.
yeah, even
That's
though
the crazy
it
part.
is true, but there is I discussed this with you yesterday. I have a
Mm-hmm.
huge beef with this, and I've already talked about it when we were talking about swapping out parts 4 or 5 videos ago. Um, it's still an Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a new generation console. So, what?
I heard it might have exclusives. That's
If
the
it has
that was
exclusives, that's one thing.
yeah that was
That
the
is one thing.
article I read a headline for. I didn't read the article. Just throwing it out there. That's what I saw.
I don't think Microsoft will do that just because
I don't think
they're
so
already
either.
doing bad enough as it is with the Xbox One, and what then they're going to come out with a new system and alienate the people that already have their console.
No, here's the thing. And you're an Xbox fan, but I have to set you straight on this one. Xbox One is doing very well, actually. It's just that the PS4 is doing
Is
phenomenally
doing
better.
way better.
It's just that the PS4 was not supposed to be as good at selling as much selling as it is. It is just selling crazy fucking numbers. The Xbox One's still outselling the 360 in their respective lifespans. The Xbox One's outselling the 360. It's still doing good.
More people are buying gaming consoles.
Yeah, it's just that the PS4 is just doing way better, which makes Xbox look like they're not doing good when really
It
they're
has
doing
ex-
just fine.
if it has exclusives, that is one thing.
It'll piss a lot of people off, but it gives you a
It
reason to
will.
buy it.
But aside from that, if it's just an upgraded spec version of the one, mine runs fine, and I have one of the
Mm-hmm.
first waves of them. I got it
Oh
right when
yeah.
it was new, so and mine still runs perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take long to load things. It does everything just fine. I don't see a reason why, if this console I have can run a game, why I'd go out and buy the new upgraded console to play the same game.
Because the graphics will be way better. I doubt
I would like to
games will
see way
crash.
better. You have a TV that'll support it.
Oh yeah, true. You need a 4K TV to support
Exactly.
the 4K graphics, but
That's right there. I'm a college student. Do you think I have a 4K TV? And if I do you think I can afford to buy a 4K TV?
no,
Hey, we have a
maybe.
Patreon. Go ahead and drop a bunch of dollars in there, and then I'll go buy a 4K
Support
TV.
us at the get us a 4K TV tier.
Yeah, just
Or you could just
jump
give
your
us
money.
one.
I eat my words. If you jump money to give me a 4K TV, the point I'm trying to make is that the average gamer does not have a 4K TV.
Exactly. But this
So
is
the average gamer doesn't really have all that much incentive, unless there are exclusives. Exclusives are one, but if it's just what?
Well, I was just gonna say my thing is I think this is for the hardcore audience, like specifically just them. Like, sure, maybe an occasional casual gamer will pick this up because they'll go, well, this one's way better. Why wouldn't I just spend the extra money and get this one? But the hardcore gamer, like people that went out and bought the Xbox One day one, I think they'll be the type of people that go and buy this. To be completely honest with you, because by then they'll have had their console for 4 years. That means your console's been outdated for at least one. Because when they come out, they're already technically outdated. At least when it comes
with all
to
these new graphics cards and processors coming out.
Exactly. So I think
PC
those are the people
gamers
that
are always way ahead of the curve on that one.
But,
for good reason.
Yeah, but it's expensive to keep up with PC gaming, and that's the whole thing with the Scorpio and the PS4K is that people are afraid that are console gamers that it's going to turn into a PC thing where, well, I don't have the Scorpio, so I can't play these games anymore. And it's like, that may or may not be true. And it's one of those things where, like, say the Scorpio comes out 2017, right? And then in 2022, they release the new Xbox, right? And they're like, but don't worry, we're still going to support Scorpio. But then everybody on the Xbox One that had the Xbox One, we're sorry, we can't support that anymore. It's too underpowered. Then I'm going to feel the same way I feel now about people that own 360s. Like, it's just time to upgrade. I'm sorry. It just is. That's just how it goes. It's like if you still have an iPhone 4, your phone's old. It's probably going to run like shit. Sorry.
I remember when that thing was new. Oh my goodness.
You should probably upgrade your phone.
Adam was so pumped up to go get his phone. Look how thin it is what he said. Look how big it is.
Jesus. And now we're like...
An iPhone 4. It feels
like
my
tiny phone.
I could legitimately throw an iPhone 4, and with its weight, I could probably break a window.
It's not that heavy.
An iPhone 4 with that solid aluminum body?
It's not that heavy.
Oh my gosh, it is heavy. The iPhone 4 is very heavy. I'd
have to go back.
If you still have your iPhone 4 and you'll allow me to put it through a window. Perhaps your car window.
Oh my god. First you ask them for money, and then you tell them you're going to break their car window with their car.
No, I said I'm going to break your car window.
Oh, my car window.
Please support me on Patreon so I can buy a 4K TV, and I'll go buy a refurbished iPhone 4 to throw through Mike's car window.
Please support us on Patreon so I can buy a new car window.
Dude, support us enough so that I can buy like 10 iPhone 4s to throw through all of his windows. And I will wait until they get replaced and then throw another one through it.
Please don't. Don't make me call the cops on you. Anyways, back to the Xbox stuff. So then they did their typical Xbox stuff. They announced the Xbox One Elite controller in a gear skin. It looks cool. Same Xbox One Elite controller, it's just different color scheme. It's red and black with splatter. Got some gears things on it. The wheel, not the wheel, the rotating D-pad. Is that what they call it?
Just the panel D-pad. Yeah. It has the switch out D-pads.
It has
not the cross D-pad, but the circular one. I call it the panel D-pad.
That one has indicates your weapons for gears. Which is cool for when you play Gears, but my complaint was that when I'm not playing Gears, it's just going to be an OCD thing and piss me off. But it looks really cool.
Mike has compulsions like that. In his car, his volume has to be on a multiple of 5. If it is not on a multiple of 5, it drives him nuts. But hey, we all have our compulsions. If there's a remote on my coffee table, it has to be vertical. It has to be sitting on the table.
Everybody has
if it's not sitting on the table vertical. I lose it.
So speaking of weird shit that people like, Xbox was like, you know what? We gave you the Elite controller. You like the Elite controller? You can customize shit. How would you like to just have a fuckload of customization options for a regular controller?
For a regular controller.
So they're like, you can. So now they have, I think it's called Xbox Labs, and there's 8 million different combinations of colors for the controller now. You can change the sticks, the color of the sticks, the color of the actual controller itself, the buttons, the D-pad, the start, select. I don't know what they call them now.
I think there's our view and
Menu.
I don't know. It's start and select. Why can't you just go back to that?
It was so much
I'm
easier
sorry.
when it was start and select.
I'm gonna get all upset.
And then,
gosh,
and then you can customize the bumpers, and you can customize the back, and you can customize those all in different colors if you want. Like, there's certain areas that can't be color coded the same way. Like the sticks can only be colored like 6 colors, and it's like black, green, blue, pink, and red. And the same thing with the D-pad; it can only be certain colors. But
2 things to keep in mind. 1, this is not an Elite controller.
No,
you
it's a regular
cannot
controller.
get those Elite aspects. You don't think you can put panels or mods on the back of it. It doesn't work like that. It's just a basic Xbox One controller, and you can customize it. And then 2, there is no version of the Elite. You cannot. There's no way to do this on the Elite.
As of right now.
As of right now, I doubt they will.
Yeah, it would be too expensive. So, correct me. Regular Xbox One controller, $60?
Yeah.
Okay. So regular one, $60. Probably $70 if you get it like with tax. Close to $63, $64, whatever. These ones are $80 for the custom. And then it's $90 for the custom coloring and engraving into the controller. Which is really cool. I like the engraving thing. And it's only 10 extra bucks, which doesn't make me feel bad at all.
I have too many controllers as it is. Not that I wouldn't like one to just have on my desk because it's a display thing with my name on it, but I have 4 controllers already. So I don't need any more. One of which is enough.
I believe the customizable ones are also the new ones for the Xbox One S. So the ones that are upgraded Bluetooth and range and that kind of stuff. I believe it's that version. So that was all they had for the hardware. They didn't talk about Kinect at all.
Ooh, one thing. Xbox One S does not have its own Kinect port. Exactly. They will have an adapter for it.
But there's no
a first-party adapter. But it does not have a Kinect port built in.
Yeah.
Just a fun little note.
So then they moved on to software. They didn't talk about it much because they already released the notes and stuff for the software update, so they didn't talk about that. What they did talk about were the big changes or big new things they want to implement and what they are implementing.
Please say it.
They're bringing back background music. Thank God. Because...
Yes! Zombies
why the fuck didn't
with hardcore music in the background is... Call of Duty Zombies with hardcore music in the background is...
Yeah.
Nerve-wracking.
So, there's that. And then they're bringing in clubs, which is their version of communities like PlayStation has. So... You'll be able to... I believe the clubs work around games, specifically. So, like, you can join a Forza one, or a Gears one, or a Halo one. Things like that. And then the last one for the software, which was, I think, the biggest one for me, at least, was they're implementing now Looking for Group on Xbox.
Which is a huge deal.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. Like,
absolutely
as stupid as it sounds, it's something that specifically people that play MMOs or online games, are going to use that so much.
The Division will probably get some good use out of it, especially with the incursions. Now that the game is actually having these really challenging things to do.
Yeah.
That'll be implemented, obviously, for Destiny, for raiding,
Elder Scrolls.
Nightfall's Elder Scrolls.
Yep. So that was huge. Like, when I saw that, I was like, that people don't probably think that's a huge deal, but in the community of the people that play Xbox that I know that play online, that's a huge fucking deal.
Yeah.
Because there's always people looking to play with other people. So this just makes it easier. I don't have to fucking get my laptop or use my phone to go to a website to try to meet up with somebody while there's 15 other fucking websites I can use to find them. So,
Yeah.
it's just I can go on Xbox, I can look for Xbox only gamers to do the activities I want to do, and you're done. Great. Good job, Xbox. I like that shit a lot. So now we're going to move into games. The first thing they showed was Gears of War 4, which looks cool. It focuses primarily on Marcus's son, Marcus being the main protagonist of the last three. I think Judgment too, but I didn't play Judgment, so I don't know.
He's also the voice of Bender.
Yes. It looks
From
really
Futurama.
cool. Looks like it's more Gears. It is what it is. It looks fine. It looks fun. I'll probably play it, but I don't think I'm gonna like sink stupid amounts of time into it like I did with Gears 3.
I remember that.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Gears 3 and I was shit. I was so bad at Gears. So then, of course, they brought out Minecraft. Microsoft owns them, so it makes sense that they're going to have them at their own conference. They talked about Realms, which sound like PC's custom servers. You'll be able
Which is
to
cool.
set up a realm, and then your friends can join in when you're offline. So that sounds pretty cool, and I think that's coming out in the fall.
Mike and I have done many a world together in Minecraft.
We have. I've spent way too much time in Minecraft.
I spend way too much time building stuff. You always like to do the mining, and I always end up building us a house.
I do like to do the mining. I don't know why. I played a lot
I
of
like
Dig
to
Dug.
build.
Played a lot of Dig Dug. Anyways,
I played with Legos.
true. So they talked about that, and then they talked about the friendly update, which allows cross-platform play for people on Xbox, Windows 10, iOS, and Android. Also, Microsoft's whole gimmick, this thing, not really gimmick, but they're throwing in your face thing, is that they now have Xbox Play Anywhere, which lets you, when you buy an Xbox game, or an Xbox One game that's like a first party game, when you buy it on Xbox, you also get it for free on PC. So now all the Xbox exclusives are also on PC. So people are pissed off about it. They're like, why the fuck do I own an Xbox then? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you own an Xbox because you don't want to fucking build a PC. That's why you own an Xbox. And guess what? You're still not going to build a fucking PC. Sorry.
And for Halo.
Yeah. Well, Halo's going to go to PC too.
But it didn't before.
This one didn't, but it will.
Yeah.
In the future. So they talked about that. There was that. And then this, that, and that. Sorry. Inside was shown. It's from developer Limbo. It's out June 29th. Their trailer was god awful. It didn't fucking show anything. It was literally just shots of people standing. That was it. It made no sense. I have no idea what the game's about. They showed Cuphead in a scissor reel, just like quick of these games. No release date. They didn't even talk about it. So it's probably a little ways out still because they
very early in development.
Well, no, they've talked about it for a while. What ended up happening though is people were complaining that I played it at PAX. It was only boss fights. That's all you could do in the game was go fight a boss, go to the next area, fight a boss, go to the next area, fight a boss. And people were like, "We want platforming in this. This looks really cool, but I'm just gonna run through it."
Yeah.
Even though it's super hard, like Cuphead is super hard. It's like Mega Man, like the original Mega Man's. It's very, very hard. So they're doing the platforming thing now. They showed the platforming thing, but that was like even earlier in this week before E3. So, but I'm assuming next year. If anything, they'll let us know later this year if it's coming out next year early, but I doubt it. And then they showed Sea of Thieves, which is a game made by Rare. I don't really understand what you're doing. From what I understand, you're supposed to be a pirate that's also fighting other pirates to get treasure or kill said pirates.
Arg.
So it's just a giant pirate fuckfest. I don't know. I have literally no idea what was happening. Like, they showed 3 different people playing the game, right? But they had it set up in a Let's Play style where their face was in the corner. So these 3 crews of 3 people, were doing different things. They were like, this one group was like very strategic. They were like, okay, we're gonna get on the ship, and they're like, you bring down the mast, you blah 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 blah, and everybody was doing their part, and the ship went off. They were going, and then the second group was just kind of dicking around. They didn't really know what to do, so they were just messing around with shit, swimming underwater. And then the third group, when they open up on them, literally all of them are standing around with beers in their hand, just drinking beer. And I'm like, God, this is actually pretty funny. And then they're like, all right, we should probably get to the ship. So they start walking to the ship, and they're like, the characters like falling all over the goddamn place. It was awesome. I was like, this is the most pirate thing I've ever seen in my life. Getting drunk and trying to go on your ship. It looks interesting, but people are making comparisons to Evolve, where it's like it comes out, people are like, this is cool, blah 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 blah, and then it's like, I can't ever find people to play with. Fuck this.
Yeah.
So, which luckily, like, Destiny didn't suffer from, because LFG came out. So maybe the LFG on Xbox will help. You know what I mean? Like,
Hopefully.
maybe it'll help people be able to find games with each other, and that would be cool. Then We Happy Few was shown, which was a dystopian kind of game. This guy's going through and he's doing paperwork of some kind, like he works for a newspaper, and he looks at he's got these pills, and these pills say joy on them, and they're very clearly like drugs that keep you emotionally stable or something like that. And he just doesn't, there was a choice for you to take it or not to take it. The character chose not to take it. And then he's going through, and just weird fucked up shit just starts happening. They're like, come on, we gotta go play with the pinata, or beat the pinata, or whatever. It's so-and-so's birthday. So he gets up and he goes, and they're like, here, beat the pinata, and they hand him a broom, right? So they're all hitting it with the pinata, hitting the piano with the broom, and then he goes and hits the pinata with the broom, and the broom sweeps across his face, right? And when he brings it back up, things start spilling, candy starts spilling out of it, and then he goes back down again, hits it, and brings it up, and then there's just blood everywhere, and they were just beating a rat, and they're just eating like this rat.
Can we? I don't want to.
Yeah,
you're gonna upset my stomach. I'm hungry, and you're gonna mess my stomach up.
That was my point. My point is the game looked super happy, and then it got fucked up real quick. So that looks interesting. I might actually play that. And then CD Projekt Red came out, and they were like, we know you people like Gwent a lot, so here's a Gwent game. And they made a card game about Gwent. So we're getting another card game. Cool. I didn't play Gwent all that much. I didn't even play Witcher that much. It was a good game. I just was like, there's way too much shit to do. I'm done. And then they rolled a trailer for Tekken 7. They showed a little bit of gameplay. It looks cool. And then that comes out in 2017. After that, they showed the leaked Dead Rising 4 with the original protagonist. It's Christmas time again. He's beating the shit out of zombies. It looks cool. There was some confusion on whether or not it was an Xbox exclusive, because everything throughout the conference was saying coming exclusively to Xbox One and Windows 10. But when Dead Rising came up, it just said coming to Xbox and Windows 10. It didn't say exclusively. But I guess it is an exclusive. Just so I guess it's not confused, because they kind of fucked up the messaging there. Then after that, they showed Scalebound, made by Platinum Games. It's a very JRPG kind of thing. It was a character fighting a giant crab with his friends, and they all ride dragons. Apparently, they're all bounded to these dragons. At least that's my understanding. So you get to beat the shit out of things with a sword and a bow and arrow, and then fly on a dragon and shoot fire. Look pretty cool. It is what it is. I don't know. I want to play it, but they didn't really show me anything. Then State of Decay 2 got announced with a trailer. No gameplay. 2017. Looks alright. I didn't play State of Decay 1, so I don't know.
Neither did I.
It's a MMO zombie thing, I think, from what I understand. Then Halo Wars 2 got announced. 2017. Open beta this week of E3. So if you want to go try it out, if you like it. I actually liked Halo Wars. I didn't think it was garbage. I thought it was pretty good. The voice command thing was shitty, but Halo Wars
not my kind of game. I tried.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was all right for what it was. I don't like those kind of games either, but I thought it was a decent version of that genre of games. So, and that is coming out in 2017. So we got Gears this year, Dead Rising, and a bunch of other ones I saw too in here, but they weren't talked about at the conference. So
Yeah,
and then that's it for Xbox.
that's it for Xbox. So stick around in the playlist if you want to see video 3, where we're going to be talking about Sony,
Yes.
all that fun stuff.
Joyce.
Check up on the channel every once in a while. You might like what you find. We try and do our newscast at least once a week. But we're going to get out of here. My name is Chris,
And I'm Michael.
and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.